Hello everybody, today I have another vlog for all of you. We're going to take a look at some of the really unique things that I have found recently. I stopped at a Restore the other day and found a whole bunch of really cool older light bulbs, and I found a really unique Mercury Vapor area light, one that I've seen a couple times in the wild. Of course, I've seen it on the lighting sites before, but it's quite rare to find, and I'm really amazed that I even found this thing, brand new at that. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that and whatever else I decide to throw in this video, I suppose. So as usual, let's go ahead and get started. Here's the Lithonia track lighting. I don't remember if I shared this or not in any of the recent videos, but as you may have seen in one of the recent ones, I did find two of these at a local Restore. Well, I went back and found a third one, so I put it in the middle here. Anyway, these just light up some pictures on the wall. But I have them on a smart dimmer switch so I can control them in the Apple HomeKit app. They're at 33% right now. I was able to find a short piece of track. It's 2 feet, and then the appropriate connector for it with a cord. It's all Lithonia stuff. Very expensive, but I'm really happy about how this turned out. I just wanted to share them on because I don't know if I ever did. But there's the beautiful old Lithonia bulb. They all have those. But anyway, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Very nice. So going from oldest to most recent finds, this I picked up a couple weeks ago. It's a Lithonia 3-foot rapid start fluorescent fixture. It's a older model, and I prefer those over the modern ones of today, if they even make these anymore. It's all LED naturally now. But I picked this up for $5. It's brand new in the box. And of course it works with F30, T8, and T12 bulbs. We have the one end here, and the other end right here, so you have one of those push in and twist type connectors. And we'll go ahead and take off the cover here, and inside we'll find a very nice old advanced ballast in great condition because it's brand new. It's been sitting for all these years. Of course, we have the end covers here and the socket for this one end. You have the little piece that goes on there and a grounding nut, I believe. And of course the other socket on this end. Now I have a 4-foot version of this fixture. Now I didn't know that it was made by Lithonia Lighting because the one part of the sticker is rubbed off and I could never tell. But here's my answer. Lithonia Lighting. Now I have a 4-foot version of this, and I converted it to a dimmable fluorescent ballast. So I believe that's somewhere on my channel, converting it to that. But I really liked the quality of the fixture. It's built very well. And I'm like, this side sticker looks really familiar. So there's my answer. It's a Lithonia Lighting, but this part of the sticker was so rubbed off I could never tell. So very cool. I'm really happy with it. It's incredibly heavy with that nice old ballast in there. I went ahead and bought some parts for it, so let me find those so I can share them with all of you. I bought this chain kit. I don't know if it even has holes in the side for this. I don't see it. I don't see holes in the sides of the fixture for it. Usually there's like some holes in the sides for something like this. I bought it with the hope that there would be, but I don't see any. That's okay. This will be great for something else. It's also made by Lithonia Lighting, the Lithonia Lighting of today. Let's see, I also picked up for it a nice little switch here, pull string. I prefer the pull string switches over the inline switches and things like that because then you can hang it anywhere and you can access it naturally. I guess this I picked up a little further back, but it's a new in-box GE Brite Stick. Now, I apologize if I've shown this in another video, but this thing's just really neat, so I guess here I am showing it again. But it's in this original packaging. It's brand new, actual size. That's what they say on here. You can see the little pictures. Very cool. See, that's what it used to be. Oh, Ben Franklin. Well, that's cool. Now, I'll open it up. Oh, what's in here? Well, we have the wire and all the mounting stuff, but we'll just take a look at the fixture. It's got this little protector on the end. Naturally, there's one brand new. Comes with this little sticker here. Of course, it uses a resistive ballast, which is this whole strip here. So this gets quite warm when in operation. That's why you mount it on the ends here and not necessarily on this, because this is an electrical component that runs the tube. Let's go ahead and put it back in here. This is an interesting little protective end piece. I can't say I've ever seen that before. I've seen these fixtures in like the melted plastic type packaging, but I've never seen one in a box like this, so that's really cool. Let me just set that aside. Okay, here's probably the most unique thing. This thing. Now, when I saw this at the Goodwill, I just had to have it, obviously. Anyway, so here's the refractor. This is made by American Electric. I thought it was a Electropack type fixture, and maybe it was at one point, but then it was, you know, names change over the years and types change and things like that. So anyway, we have the refractor here, and it does have a house side and a yard side. We have our Mercury vapor bulb. I'll go ahead and unscrew it. It was sitting in here, but I screwed it in just to give it some support. So here's the bulb itself. It's made by Philips. Let's say June 1989. As you can see, it says 100 watt or 125 watt, but the ballast specification is the same. It's an H42, which I believe is for a 125 watt mercury vapor bulb. So I did some searching on this, and as far as I can tell, this is indeed a 125 watt mercury vapor bulb. I don't even have one of these in my collection, so this is awesome. You can see the arc tube inside there. I did try to look in through it with a flashlight, and it does look like it has the pretty big lifeguard electrodes in the arc tube there. So that's really cool. I never thought I'd ever find a 125 watt mercury vapor bulb like an actual one. Now, Regent made a 125 watt / 100 watt bulb that was used for their fixtures, and I have a couple of those in my collection, but I never had one of these that's actually made for 125 watts, as this is a much more common wattage overseas than it is here in America. So very cool to find one brand new. It still had the mounting hardware. This wasn't in a box. It was sitting just like this with tape to keep it together. So we have the mounting hardware. And I always thought these had an electronic ballast or used some type of low volt system from what I was reading online of people that have found these. And then it uses a special mercury vapor bulb. But the interesting thing is here, it has a full-fledged mercury vapor ballast in here. Like, full on. Look at how big this thing is. You can kind of see it through the hole in there. Like, that's a high quality ballast. That's like almost the size of a 175 watt ballast in there. This thing is incredibly heavy. I always thought these fixtures were made out of plastic, but it's made out of aluminum. I've never seen one of these up close in person before, so this is really cool. There's what do you call it? Insulation underneath here, and you can kind of maybe see it, but the ballast is huge. You can see a wiring diagram in there. This will get its own separate video, absolutely. So you can see down there it says 175 M 125 watt mercury vapor, but you can see there it says lamp H42, so 125 watt. There you can see a date code. Looks like 10/4 of 1989. Very cool fixture. Like I said, brand new. The reason I thought it was Electropack is because of the photocell here on the top. It's one of those common ones that Electropack used. So there's a side profile of the fixture, and I believe they were sold like this. And then, oh, it's got a crack in it. Naturally, you know, nothing from Goodwill is perfect. And then some of them are sold like this with a refractor. So very cool fixture. I never thought I'd ever find one of these, especially with a full-fledged mercury vapor ballast in there. It's not one of the low volt systems that I've heard of being used in this style of fixture. So we'll definitely make a separate video of this and turn it on and see how it works, because this is amazing. I didn't know that they came in a full mercury vapor version. I thought it was some specialty thing, but maybe that was for a different version, you know. I said version a lot. I probably said it about 25 too many times. But anyway, this thing is awesome. Let's go ahead and move it out of the picture because we got more awesomeness to share with you. That's not the only awesome we have around here. Wow, I'm just hitting the camera and everything. Let's get that dust out of here. Moving right along, we have this. Yes, because I need this, you know. I need more random stuff in my life. Anyway, this is a 100 watt metal halide Bandit fixture. I have one of these in my collection. It's 100 watt high pressure sodium. It's probably one of the first videos I ever put on this channel. So if you go way, way, way far back in 2009 or 2010, you can probably find the 100 watt version of this. And the 100 watt version had a knuckle mount, or whatever you want to call the thing, that went to an electrical box. This one has, I think they call these a yoke mount or something like that. Maybe that's the other one. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. But this one has the wire that goes directly into the fixture itself. So you just have this and you'll put it to the electrical box. In a way, I kind of prefer this because you don't need an electrical box. You can just put a cord through there, you know, with a plug already on the end, and you're good to go. Just screw it on wherever you need, and everything's happy. I picked this up for $15 at yet another local restore, and they had a humongous amount of interesting fixtures there. I'll include that in this video. You may have already seen it before we got to this section here. But there was so much to look at. I think I spent like 45 minutes there. It was ridiculous. I went in, and when I left, it was dark out. That's how long I spent there. Now, I picked up this and some GE 310 watt high pressure sodium bulbs. Now, I'm not sure where I put them, but I'll make a separate video of them explaining what they are. I wish I knew where they were. Let me look for them. So here's the 310 watt high pressure sodium bulbs, and I picked them up for $3 a piece. I decided to pick them up. I don't have anything to use them, but I wanted to pick them up because it's such a rare wattage. Now there's a story behind these, and please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong or if I'm missing anything about them, because I want to make sure I have the story correct. Now, in California, they used 700 watt mercury vapor streetlights on the highways and such, and they wanted something that had the same lumen output as a 700 watt mercury vapor bulb. So they developed this, the 310 watt high pressure sodium bulb, because it put out the same lumens as a 700 watt mercury vapor bulb. So it was kind of developed for a need in California. Very unique. I've never seen a fixture for these in person, and I never thought I'd ever see a bulb in person. So I'll have a separate video of it as well, sharing that eventually. I won't have anything to turn them on. It looks like they were made in 2011, September 2011, so they're relatively new. You can see it's not really that different from a standard 250 or 400 watt bulb, but just really unique. You know, because of that story, let me get my catalog out and let's see. Okay, so here's a 310 watt. This is a GE catalog, so it matches these at least. That's the only catalog I have, so I use it often. Here's a 310 watt. Looks like you get them in a case of 12. Clear. There's the ballast code for them. let's see, that's the lumens, right? Yeah, that's the column for lumens, and then the lumens over time. So you can see it's about 37 to 33 thousand. So let's go ahead and compare that to Mercury Vapor. Well, wouldn't you know it, it doesn't even exist in this catalog. So I guess I don't even know what lumens it would be. Of course I can look it up online, and I'll probably do that after this video here, but looks like a 1000 watt one is 57, and a 400 watt one is about 21. Sure. So yeah, it must have been in between there in the 700 range. So that's the interesting story. If I'm wrong at why these were developed the way they were, please correct me, because I want to at least know the right information. Now back to this thing, because I totally just ignored it. Now you may have noticed on the socket here it says 50 watts and high pressure sodium. So I was like, well, that's really odd. The thing's incredibly heavy. So I wonder if that socket is a replacement or something. Now this is brand new. It is clean. So I'm not sure if they put the wrong sticker on it or what. But I opened it up at the restore and looked, and it's a 100 watt metal halide fixture. For sure. So very cool. Definitely a video of this coming. Okay, moving right along. Now this thing is the next most, not the most recent, but anyway, it's another one of those GenYura, well, however you want to pronounce it. Now, I got one of these, a couple years ago when I was at college, brand new in box, and I know I'd done a video on it. But it's an older version. This one's a newer version. As you can see, it has this extra little bump here, and it looks a little shorter than the older version that I have. Now this one, when it's at full brightness, is more of a pure white than a warm white or anything like that. And it works great. So again, these are like a induction style lamp. Very cool technology, incredibly hard to find nowadays. So I picked this up at Goodwill. I think it was like $2. Definitely had to have it. Okay, so here's the bulbs that I picked up most recently at another restore. I go to many different ones because there's always something different at them. Anyway, these are all about $1 a piece, and decided to pick up. They had all kinds of stuff, but I picked up the small things and things that I could use, or things that were incredibly unique that I couldn't pass up. So we'll start here on the top with this little Ace 25 watt bulb. I picked this up because I can use it in the Lithonia track lighting. It uses this style of bulb, 25 watt. Now, they had a whole bunch of 40 watt ones. This was the only 25 watt one. And I want the lower wattage. I don't want to over bake those fixtures with the heat. So that'll just be a bulb that I'll use. I think I'll put it into use now with the one that points down, because then I can save one of those old Sylvanias. And here we have some F4T5 bulbs. Just, really generic stuff here. That's a really big etch. Did they really have to make it that big? Look, it takes up like the whole bulb. No joke. Ridiculous. Anyway, so that one's warm white. Here's another warm white. And then here's some cool white ones. Do you notice anything funny? Why is the life different? And why are the lumens slightly different? It's just a different color temperature. Weird. Anyway, go ahead and take a look at one of these. If I can get it out. It's like stuck in there. There. So this one has the same type of etch. Cool white. Now I know I took one of these out of the package and it had an even more generic etch on it. Oh yeah, here you go. Super generic. Anyway, those are good to have on hand for my 4 watt fluorescent fixtures. And I picked up some of these 5 watt PL bulbs. I love these little things. I use them in adapters all over the house. This is all of them they had, so I wanted to pick them up. They had 7, 9, and 13 watt versions, but I have plenty of those. I don't have a lot of 5 watt ones that are brand new, so had to pick these up. Older looking GE packaging. So that's a nice find. And we're getting to some more interesting stuff underneath. Now I thought I picked 2 of these up, but I guess I only put 1 in my basket. This is a 22 watt PL bulb. It's used in that green preheat lamp that I have. This one's warm white instead of the cool white ones that I have. I think this is the same style that came with the fixture itself, so it's nice to have a spare that's warm white instead of just cool white. But the cool white does well with the green lens. Okay, now we're getting to some more interesting stuff here. Here's 2 old Sylvania Decor bulbs. They're 60 watts a piece, and I picked them up because look at that filament. Wow, they really cram that in a very small area. And I love this tiny etch. Look at that. That is so cool. And here's another one. Same thing. Awesome. This is really unique. It's a Westinghouse bulb, as you can tell. It's the same thing as this, just an older version. It has a really interesting ceramic feeling coating on it. You can see this like line here. Oh my gosh, can we focus today? I don't know if that's from the machinery that made it, but very unique. I don't know what the age of this is. You can see 25 and then the Westinghouse logo. There's nothing that says voltage or anything to that nature. So I don't know if it's a low voltage bulb or 120 volt, but really cool. I'm assuming it's 120 volt. These things are interesting. We'll save those. Okay, well, you saw that fixture I had didn't have a bulb, the Bandit fixture. So I found this, a 100 watt middle halide bulb for $1. Perfect. Now I have a bulb to turn the fixture on for all of you. That's fantastic. I was so happy to find this. Now I don't have to order one or buy one at a store. Because $1, that's a great price for one of those. I picked this up. It's a 175 watt metal halide bulb. It's $2, but I thought I'd pick it up because I do have a fixture that uses these here. And if I find another one that doesn't have a bulb, at least I'll have it for $2. That's not bad at all. Here's a 150 watt Fiat electric bulb. It's one of those cram bulbs where they really stuff it in there, and this one looks just hilarious. Let's get it out. Look at that giant arc tube and that little tiny, like, disformed enclosure. Like, look at that. Like, huh? It just looks funny. It does have an etch on it. I mean, this is good to have in case I find a fixture that uses it. But again, for $1, even if I don't have a use for it, it's a high intensity discharge bulb. I'm gonna pick it up. Now they had some bigger mercury vapor bulbs, and I saw a dude pick those up while I was there, but I didn't have a use for them anyway. They were like 175 watt generic Westinghouse and GE modern things like this that weren't of any amazing quality, so that wasn't too much of a loss to see any of that stuff go. Now this is pretty cool. I've always seen bulbs in this style of packaging. I thought it would be neat to have it at some point, and well, now I do, in a really odd size. So these are 130 volt, 10 watt. They're the S11 sign type bulbs. You get 6 of them in this package here. Look at that. Doesn't that just look cool? I've seen other collectors find packaging like this, and I've always wanted to just find it, And I think hardware stores would sell them, by the bulb, instead of all of them in a thing like this. And there's etches on them. You can see them underneath there. I'm not sure what these exactly were used for, but again, this is just really cool packaging. This is like a piece that I'd display probably. That's really cool. Okay, now let's move on to these things right here. These are made by a company, Lithonia. Probably can't pronounce it correctly because these were made in West Germany. So it could be German for all I know. And these are obviously really old if they're distinguishing between East and West Germany. But look at this packaging. Isn't that cool? Look, there's like a vent so you can see the bulb inside. I really like this. Very unique. I've never seen anything like it. Look at that. There's like German on the top. Here's another one. The E14 base. So it's not intermediate, and it's not medium base, and it's not candelabra. It's the E14 size. But don't worry, I have an adapter for that, so we'll definitely see these turned on. These will definitely get their own video. So just incredibly unique. We'll take one out to show you. So it's a foreign bulb, obviously not made for the American market. You see the base. It's in between intermediate and candelabra. But the thing that makes me wonder is, why is it 120 volt, you know, or 130 or whatever it said on there? It's the American voltage. Why is it that? Is that the voltage they use in Germany? I don't know. Never been there. But I would assume it would be, you know, like 230 or 220. So, really unique. It has an American voltage, but a European base. Just really, really unique. We'll definitely turn these on in their own video. These were like the icing on the cake for unique finds for the day. Absolutely. So, all kinds of cool stuff there. Last but not least, you can't have a fluorescent fixture without some bulbs. So here's these. I probably have shown these in my Restore Look Around videos before, but I decided to finally pick them up for use in my new Lithonia fixture. So they have the really nice old black end caps, and I'm not sure exactly who the manufacturer of these are. For some reason I want to say Sylvania, but I could be wrong. Please correct me if I am. But you can see they're made by Service. They're F30T8. They're Spectralite, whatever color temperature that is. And then the other two are Daylight. The other etch is on the other end of the other bulb. But picked them up for $3. They had a sale on this color tag. But very cool. I'm glad I paid that and not for a new, you know, not so good bulb at the local store. So very cool. Anyway, we have all kinds of stuff here. From the fluorescent bulbs to all kinds of goodies. This is going to be real fun to put this together. I really want to get this fluorescent fixture working and hang it up somewhere. Maybe I'll try making it preheat using the existing rapid start ballast. I've read of different ways on the lighting sites on how to convert that, you know, without destroying the ballast. So really interesting. I look forward to making these into videos for all of you. This has been incredibly long, but I hope you enjoyed looking at all these unique items. If you've made it to the end of the video, well, maybe you can help me solve this mystery. So here's this 3-foot fluorescent fixture that I showed a little bit ago, and it doesn't work. I have no idea why. I've done some testing with the multimeter here. So when going from either one of the reds to the neutral down here, we get 208 volts on one, and then I believe 211 on the other red wire. Doesn't really matter, they're pretty close to the same. So if I try the blue wire to the red, either of the reds or even the neutral, I get a whole lot of nothing. There seems to be no voltage going through the blue wire in any way, shape, or form, because I can't get it to do anything except when I put it across from the neutral to the blue wire, I get 3 volts. I don't know why, but there's 3 volts. Anyway, like I said, if I go from either one of the reds to the blue, it does a whole lot of nothing. I get 0. But if I go to the neutral, you get 208. Anyway, I'm not sure what the current voltage or whatever that this ballast works at. You think I know all that stuff because I talk about lighting a lot. But I really don't, because I don't encounter this type of issue often, and I don't seem to know off the top of my head. So anyway, it is connected appropriately, the neutral to the neutral, and the ground to the fixture itself, because that is incredibly important for rapid start fixtures. I've tried it with the cover on, with the cover off, to make sure that it's, you know, close to the tube. I've tried multiple different tubes. I've tried 4-foot fluorescent tubes, so it can't be the tubes themselves. So I'm not too sure what's going on, but when I turn it on and off real fast, sometimes you can get the bulb to flash right while turning it off. So I don't know if there's a capacitor issue inside of this thing or what. But if anybody out there knows, it's much appreciated. Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. But other than that, I just can't seem to figure this thing out. I'm just guessing the ballast is bad, which isn't too big of a deal. I have some preheat ones I could replace it with, but for the time being, it would be nice if it worked. Anyway, as always, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I always enjoy making these for you, and that's about it. Of course, we'll do videos on the normal. It seems to be about every Sunday is when I seem to find time to upload a video for you, so I guess we'll just keep sticking with that unless everybody would like them at a different time, but that seems to be what's working the best most recently here. Anyway, once again, I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and also please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.